I want to thank everyone for coming today. My name is Jesse Madsen. I'm with the Marin County Office of Education, and I'm really excited to help open this spectacular event that is led by the Marin County Public Works Department. This is the Public Works Career Showcase. It's taking place during National Public Works Week. It is an important week to recognize all of the work that is done by our public works departments everywhere across the country, but especially we're going to highlight Marin County today. And we're excited to have our Marin County Public Works Department putting on such a great event for us. So thank you so much in advance for all the time and effort and the information you're going to share with everyone today. So with that, we're going to get started, and we have a little quick video to start the session. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Gaglioni. I'm the Public Works Director here at the County of Marin. We want to welcome you to today's Public Works Career Showcase. We're doing this in celebration of the 61st Annual National Public Works Week. So every year in the same week in May, public works agencies and communities all across the country celebrate public works and the people who maintain them. So why are public works important? Public works agencies build and maintain roads, bridges, buildings like libraries, government centers, things that people need and use every day. We also provide services such as utilities and permitting, and we keep you safe by making sure the roadways are safe and having flood control projects to keep your homes from being flooded. So here at Public Works, we do all of these things so that we can help you all maintain a wonderful quality of life. Now, it takes a lot of different people to maintain this kind of thing, and not all of them require a college degree. In fact, probably the majority do not. We need folks to, we need the electricians, we need the carpenters, we need the mechanics, we need the plumbers, we need everybody that actually does the hands-on work to keep things going. No matter what you hear, computers are not going to replace people. We need folks doing this. I came into public works kind of a roundabout way. My dad was in public works. When I got out of high school, I didn't go to college. I went to work. I went to work as an auto mechanic and did all sorts of jobs. And then one day I was able to get into the city of Burbank in the warehouse. And I drove a forklift, unloaded trucks and stocked shelves. And I got to learn about all the different parts that the different divisions used. Plus, all the tradespeople would come in to the warehouse to get their supplies for the day and come in throughout the day. And I got to talk with them about what they do. So it was a great education overall. And this was Burbank Water and Power. And one day the guys told me there was an opening coming up in the water department. So I went to the water department. I checked that out and I learned how to rebuild and install water meters, service lines, fix broken pipes in the field. It was great. When the gentleman who was running the warehouse left, they asked me to go back and take that over. And then I got to learn about managing people and managing money and managing supplies. It was great. For me, I realized that to go any further, I was going to need to go back to school. So I went ahead, I started a community college, which is a great choice. It's a great bargain. And then I was able to transfer to Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo to get my degree in environmental engineering. While I was going to school, I did just about anything I could to keep money coming in. One of the things, I lived on an avocado orchard. So this kid from the city was out there, learned to drive a tractor and prune trees, and I had a great time. It was one of the best experiences of my life, I'll always remember. But when I graduated, I went to work for the San Luis Obispo County Department of Public Works. I started out doing grading permits, encroachment permits, and basic plan check and things. Then I got a chance to go to the construction division. And our job there was to take the plans that the engineers design and go out there with the contractor and make sure that the contractor built the project as it was designed. That was exciting. I got to be outside all over the place, all different sorts of projects. One day, the deputy director of the department called me in and said he wanted me to go into project management. They were starting a new division. And it's interesting, I was so bummed because I was having so much fun in construction. And I was being ordered to go to project management. It turns out the thing that I thought was the worst thing that could happen to me was what set me up for the rest of my career. So you just never know. So I learned how to manage projects, apply for grants, do public outreach. And then I went down to the city of Goleta. I did the same thing. And I worked my way up to become the public works director and the city engineer down there. After I was in Goleta about 9 years, there was an opening at the city of Oxnard. And Oxnard interested me because they were a full service city. And in addition to all the traditional public works things, you had water, wastewater, recycled water, and trash. So I went down there and it was great. Learned a lot. Again, a whole different batch of things. And then this job opened up in Marin. About 30 years ago, I used to come up and visit family, and I thought I would just love to live up here, but I didn't think it would ever happen. So I just continued on my merry way, and then this opened up. And I'd only been in Oxnard about 3 years, and I usually like to stay somewhere about 8 years, but I couldn't pass it up. So I applied, I came up here, and now I got my dream job and in my dream place. So that's great. But I think what I want you to take away from my story is that you don't need to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. You just need to start. Start, and you will find as you talk to people and as you take different jobs, you're gonna see what it is you really want to do. I think it was Martin Luther King who said, "You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step." And if you come into a place like the County of Marin, Public Works, there's a whole lot of different jobs you can do. And we even do things called stretch assignments where if you want to try something out, you want to see if you can do a little more, you have those opportunities. So hopefully we can talk you into being interested in coming to work with us. We would love to have you. You're going to have three presenters for the rest of this showcase. And we have Sean Sinelli from Fleet. We've got Kip Brooks from Rhodes, and we've got Todd Williamson from Telecommunications. And they're gonna give some good presentations. You're gonna see a variety of videos. So how did Public Works start? I mean, was it always here? No. But in the 1930s, there was something called the Work Progress Administration. And it was developed to upgrade our infrastructure and to get folks out of the Depression, to give people work to do. And most of that work, there's a lot of it at least, still standing today. And it was really exciting. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you a video, give you a brief background to that before Kip Brooks takes over. So can we cue that video?
One of the most ambitious programs enacted by the Franklin Roosevelt administration during the Great Depression was the Works Progress Administration, or the WPA. What was the WPA? What kinds of projects were they concerned with? Created by an executive order from President Roosevelt, the goal of the Works Progress Administration was to provide a paying job for any family whose primary wage earner was unemployed. Most of the workers the WPA employed were unskilled laborers who were hired for construction projects. There were many different kinds of WPA projects. Parks, bridges, roads, courthouses, schools, and hospitals were all constructed by WPA workers. Museums, city halls, and swimming pools were constructed as well. To this day, most communities in the United States have a park, bridge, or school that was built by the agency. The program greatly benefited rural areas in the South and western regions of the nation, where facilities such as these were desperately needed.
Works Progress Administration in Franklin Delano Roosevelt, that was wonderful. What he created there was so amazing, all the infrastructure for the whole country. After they got done with the Works Progress Administration, it was disbanded. They realized they needed a group of people around the country to actually maintain the infrastructure that was installed by the Works Progress Administration. That group of people, as we know it today, is called Public Works. Every major entity around this country has a public works organization, division, or department within them. And they do a variety of things, maintain everything, all the infrastructure around this country. Also, the general sense of public works. You don't think we really have anything to do with your day-to-day life. We actually do. When you woke up this morning, your alarm clock went off because of public works. It's why you have power. When you flip a light switch, it's public works. When you cut on the faucet, it's public works. When you jump in your car, you back out, you want to go down the road, it's public works. All the traffic signage, signals, street lights, cable, water, power, gas, it's all public works. They call us the forgotten first responders. The reason why they call us the forgotten first responders is basically because we do our jobs very well. You can take it for granted. You know that things are going to work because of public works. My name is Kip Brooks. I'm the roadway maintenance superintendent for the county of Marin. I got started in this career path basically unwittingly. I was 14 years old and I started as summer hire. I started as summer hire for the Clark County division of Las Vegas, Nevada. At that time, I ran any number of things, a pick, shovel, and if I was lucky, I got to actually ride on the backhoe. My career progressed through the years, and I was fortunate enough to go work a papal visit in Washington, D.C. I was fortunate enough to see all kinds of infrastructure being built in the city of North Las Vegas. I was lucky to do a whole bunch of things in this career path. I bumped around and ended up being the roadway maintenance superintendent for the city of Marin, or sorry, for the county of Marin. I enjoy my position now. And the interesting thing is when you look at the pay and of this career path, I mean, it is just amazing. It goes from mile to mile. It's a career path that spans the globe. Being in public works, you can work in America, any municipality, any city, any county you can work in. You can also go global. You can work around the world building bridges, infrastructure, sewer, water, gas, anything. It's all the same all around the world. That's the best part about this career. And it pays. It pays up to $300,000 to $400,000 a year, depending on where you are and what position you're in. I wanted to show you just a bit of what we do. We have a video that we put together for roads. We're going to cue the video right now.
I'm gonna hit the road to see what I can see. I'm gonna hit the road to be what I can be. I'm so tired of looking at this wall. I'm breaking free. I'm gonna do my thing. Baby, won't you come with me? I'm gonna do my thing. I got the road, I got the dream. That's everything I need.
All right, so that was a road maintenance video, and that's some of the stuff that we do every single day in order to make the road safe and navigable for you, the motoring public. Basically, when you look at that video, what you saw was us maintaining and repairing actually roadways, cleaning out curb gutter, drainage inlets, and actually cutting down trees, different things like that, removing brush, and foliage, different things like that. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you just one of the pieces of equipment that we use to maintain the infrastructure. This is a Vactor Truck. A Vactor Truck is actually an amazing piece of equipment. They actually were made in 1939, I believe is when they started making these, and they look largely the same way. The Vactor Truck is made to actually remove debris and dirt from most anything, really. It's like a large wet vacuum cleaner is basically what it is. We use it to clean storm drains, to video storm drains, video sewer lines, clean blockages in sewer lines, and then also to locate sensitive infrastructure, such as pipes, conduits, things like that, that we don't want damaged. Now, what we want to do is we want to gently go through the functionality of this machine. And in order to do that, we're going to bring in an operator, and his name is Kenny.
Hi, everyone.
Let me mask up so this way we're all safe. Kenny, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Kip. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Could you please take the time to show everybody the actual functions of the Vactor truck from the front to rear?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Let's come around the front. So most of the functions of this unit are accessible right here at the front with this omnibus control. I can control everything from how much pressure is going through this water hose. I can control the boom up and down and the vacuum. All of these systems are accessible right through this main control. And then coming along in the front of the unit and around the side, we could talk about some of the back part. Now the back part, I really can't control from the front of the unit. What this is responsible for is the lowering and raising of the tank. And in the tank is the debris that we sucked up from all the pipes that we cleaned. And I'm able to raise and lower and unlock and lock the rear door so we can let the material out. If you want to follow me to the back. In the back, you'll see we have these stages of locks. This is what keeps the material inside the tank. And on the back here, we also have a pump, and we can separate the water from the material so we can actually load up more material and get rid of water so we can fill the tank. And then, like I said, around the front, on the side there was a lock and unlock. That releases the lock. Then I can raise the unit up. We can get the material out. We can lower the unit back down, and then we continue on with sucking and cleaning out more pipes. And that kind of basically sums up sort of the, long and short of how this unit functions.
Well, how do you think they're going to enjoy your walk around of the Vactor truck?
Well, I think they'll get kind of a good idea of how it works. I know we posted a few videos on some of the action shots that were taken of how the unit actually functions, but they can follow up with any other questions they have in the Q&A part. So,
okay. So I want to make sure that everybody's aware of what we do to make the road safe and navigable for you, not only for you, but also the other first responders. Keep in mind, without us doing our job, no first responder could do their job at all. Fire departments could not fight a fire without water. Police and ambulances could not get to their emergency destinations without streetlights, traffic signals, and any kind of signage at all. There's no way that would happen. So in short, we want to make sure that you know two things. Number one, America works because public works. Number two, want to make sure we do a clean send-off over to the garage. Matter of fact, the garage. Kenny, have you ever seen a show called Misfit Garage? Are you aware of that?
I've seen it a time or two.
All right. Well, you notice they all have a leader, right? Like a band, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like a little rock band. Okay. Misfit Garage, the leader of Misfit Garage here, right, would be Sean.
Hey, Seth.
You know Sean, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sean is a very interesting character, right? In fact, we discussed this morning, he uses a Mobil 1 motor oil for cologne.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And this is what he hears when he sleeps. Right? That's like a bedtime story for him, right?
Yeesh.
So without further ado, we're going to turn this over to Sean, all right? But first, we're going to show you a video of the actual functions of the Vactor truck. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey all, my name is Sean. I am the fleet supervisor for the Marin County Department of Public Works. But before I say any more, here's a video for you to see of the team that I get to work with. Video. Hello everybody, welcome to the garage. I'd like to show you around and then maybe we can meet some of the people that work here. First, can we go this way? Let's go meet Nate. So Nate, he takes care of all the pool vehicles, all the cars that get checked out by county employees, and he also handles the auctions that we have for selling some of our old stock off. He is a service veteran. He served in the Army. He just won an award that was Service with a Smile from the county. And say hi, Nate. Right? Service with a Smile. What did I say? Now follow me. Now over here is Vinar. He's one of the nicest people you will ever meet. He is our small service expert. And he is the shop morale booster. He is definitely one of the most positive people I've ever met. And let's go meet him real quick. You want to say hello to everybody out there?
Hello to everybody out there.
So answer me a question, Bernard.
I sure will.
How many years have you been working here for Department of Public Works?
33 years.
33 years. 33 years. Right? That's a couple years, I'd say. Now here, follow me, please.
Okay.
Thank you for
Bye-bye. Oh, you're welcome.
Over here, hey Greg. You want to say hi to the camera, Greg? Say hello to the camera, Greg. Greg is my shop genius. This guy can fix anything. Anything I throw at Greg, he fixes it. One of the best mechanics I've ever worked with. You know you can count on Greg. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
You're awesome, buddy. Now follow me, please. Over here, we have Carlos. Carlos, say hello to the camera, buddy. Right? Carlos is one of my small service experts. I also know I can count on him for electrical diagnosis. He's one of my, yes I know, thanks Greg. He is one of my experts in computer diagnostic and repair. I can really count on Carlos for those repairs. Now, follow me. Thank you, Carlos. Right. And that over there is my small, over here is my small service repair. That's the small area we call it, where we service all the small cars and trucks and what have you. Now we're venturing into the heavy repair end, where we service all the big stuff. In the heavy end, you're going to go meet John. He's one of the guys that can work both ends of the garage, and he knows the garage, the ins and outs of the garage more than anybody else here. And he's also known to have the memory of an elephant. He remembers everything, and I count on him a lot. Let's go meet John. Say hello, John. Thanks, John. That's good. Easy, right? Okay, follow me, please. Yeah. Now over here is our parts room. And sitting over here is Jorge. He is my parts ordering specialist. He also handles all the stock orders and what have you. And definitely my IT person. Whenever I have a computer problem or question, my boss and I, he is there to help us get through it because we're computer illiterate compared to Jorge. All right, thank you, Jorge. You're good. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today in the garage where we work. Appreciate you visiting with me. Thank you.
Update it.
Bye. Okay, so each one of these people you've just met have their own qualities and expertise to make the team complete. About careers here in the garage. We have many career opportunities here in our division. We have heavy mechanics who handle everything from big engine repair and transmissions on Type 3 big trucks
and welding to hydraulic repairs on various tractors and big mowers. They also do custom fabrication on various projects. Then we have the light end of the garage, where technicians do light repairs, such as small services, tire repairs, oil changes, and little things like wiper blades, to fixing major problems, such as engine and transmission replacement, brakes and suspension. We even do diagnostics on county cars and trucks. We also have a parts department specialist who handles ordering all the parts and stock inventory replacement. We have a person who handles all the pool vehicles, who you met, Nate, who handles all the pool vehicles that we own. We have roughly 60 vehicles for county employees to use for county business. This job can be demanding, keeping up with pool vehicles, maintenance, cleaning, and scheduling. This person even handles the 2 to 3 auctions that we have every year to sell off old equipment. And in case you want to know, we use public surplus auction. Check it out. As for my boss and I, we handle the daily running of the garage, who fixes what and when. We also handle all the vehicle purchasing for the county of Marin, including fire department. If you only knew how much work goes into building a new fire truck or patrol vehicle. So we here in the garage service all vehicles that are owned by the county of Marin. We also provide service and fuel to a few outside clients whenever a vehicle is broken, like Kip's Vactor again, or needs service or needs inspection, we take care of it. We here in the garage do oil changes, small services, to major repairs and custom welding and fabrication. The vehicle types that we take care of vary greatly, from little mowers and ATVs to regular cars and trucks. We also do big 10-wheel dump trucks, semis, and all the fire trucks owned by the county Marin. It's a lot. We also team up with Todd and his radio shop technicians to build patrol vehicles used by the sheriff's department. We also help build other vehicles for first responders, like this latest addition for search and rescue, but more on this later. I've got to say, it's pretty awesome working with first responders. They are such good people. They are the heroes. But you know you're part of something bigger when the fire department calls us in the garage heroes for keeping their vehicles running, fighting fires, and saving lives. These last 2 fire seasons have been very hard on fire department vehicles. It takes a full crew to make sure all the fire departments are safe and vehicles stay functioning in the field. We even have a mechanic who works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the field when they are out fighting fires and saving lives. Speaking of first responders, we have here the latest search and rescue vehicle that we help build. It is a mobile command vehicle that is fully self-contained and is capable of responding to both county and mutual aid events throughout California. Cue video. So her name is SAR 1, Search and Rescue 1. It is a 2020 heavy-duty 3600 diesel Freightliner, which is actually a Mercedes. It includes all modern driver technology, including phone and media pairing with 6 lithium-ion batteries, providing 6,000 watts of power. That's enough to power your house. It has a 240-watt rooftop solar panel to recharge the lithium batteries. It also includes 3,600-watt AC inverter, providing power to both interior, exterior large screen monitors, laptops, and even an onboard laser printer. It also allows search and rescue to recharge e-bikes in the field, which is pretty cool. As a command post, it provides a meeting space for planning and implementing search and rescue operations at major incidents, including missing person searches, mudslides, fires, and floods. I could go on about SAR-1, like its Wi-Fi hotspot via cradle point to multiple cell providers. This is a special Wi-Fi that is good for internet, but also allows for the tracking of every searcher in the field via a special mapping software. We hope to add Starlink satellite internet, which is even better for tracking all the searchers in the future. One more thing about SAR-1, it comes also fully stocked with a field kitchen for extended missions. Now, in closing, a little personal. In closing, I would like to add, on a personal note, I had a difficult youth. I was not really focused on education at all. Didn't even really go to high school. Maybe got in a little bit of trouble. Just sort of fell into fixing cars around the age of 15. Bounced around a lot of years until getting good enough and brave enough to open up my own business, and I ran that business for 20 years. Then I sold it and was looking for a job. I didn't know what. Drive a bus, empty garbage cans, I don't know. But then I don't know why, but I got on the website for the county and I saw this job for fleet supervisor. And I figured, why not give it a try? What's the worst that can happen? They could say no. Well, here I am now, working for the Marin County Department of Public Works. If I'd known then what I know now, I would have gotten a job with Marin County Department of Public Works 30 years ago. It's that good. Being part of the Department of Public Works means it's not just about you. It's about being part of something bigger. It's heroes calling us heroes who push you to succeed and support you every step of the way, who make you step out of the box and push your boundaries, like doing this webinar. I never thought I'd be doing something like this. When you succeed, the Department of Public Works, succeeds. And when you fail, like me many times, your team picks you up, helps you through it, and you learn from it. On another little side note to end this, there is no discrimination of any kind working for the Department of Public Works. It is frowned upon and dealt with quickly. Gender, race, and religious equality is very important to me and to the Department of Public Works. And that means a lot. There's a saying we like to live by over here as a team. We are better together. Thank you for listening to me. And now I'm going to give you to my good friend Todd Williams from the radio department. Awesome dude.
Well, Mr. Rogers said it best. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Now I have the roads department. I have the mechanic shop. I mean, they're great. No doubt about it. However, they're not telecom. Telecom, I mean, it's the backbone of America. So if anybody said anything different, I beg to differ. I'll be your huckleberry. Let's talk about telecommunications. Now, often you may be playing on your cell phones. Like, for instance, while you're in school, while you're at dinner, at work. But have anybody ever told you to stop playing on your cell phone? Cell phones, radios are very similar. The technology is very similar. I take, for instance, my kids. They like TikTok. And you know, one day I asked one of my kids, I'm like, why are you watching TikTok? Why are you doing this? You can't make a living doing that. And you know, the funny thing is she said, yes, Dad, I can. There's kids my age, 14, 15, 16, that are millionaires. TikTok. And I thought about one of my high school friends was a painter. And you know, I was thinking, you'll never make money. You can never make a living painting. But yes, you can. You can make a living basically anything that you do, as long as your heart is in it. When I was a kid, I remember running around in the yard, playing G.I. Joe, playing with walkie-talkies. Now, of course, my parents thought, no way you can make a living doing that. But then I retired from the Marine Corps. I was running around just like G.I. Joe, even though it was the Marine Corps Vice the Army. Somewhat the same principle. 30 years later, I'm still playing with radios. I'm not running around in the jungles and the deserts like I did in the Marine Corps, but I'm still playing with radios, and I'm making a living doing it. Good morning, boys and girls. Would you be my neighbor? I mean, that's the slogan here, because we would like you to join us. My name is Todd Williams. I'm the Marin County Radio Supervisor. Now, radios, cell phones, very similar. The technology behind them is very similar. Wouldn't it be nice to have a career doing something that you love and enjoy doing, that you understand? Like, for instance, if I ask you, what was your most valuable asset? 9 times out of 10, most of you would tell me your cell phones. If I ask an adult the same thing, nowadays, they would say a cell phone. Again, cell phones and radios are very similar. The technology behind them is the same. If I ask you COVID, what did you do during COVID? How did you communicate? You would say, oh, cell phone, social media. A lot of your kids, well, a lot of the kids now are, they're, like I spoke of TikTok, Netflix or Instagram, Facebook. I don't really do the social media, but most kids are doing that. That's the technology behind that. Now, let's think about a national catastrophe, some kind of tragedy. A lot of us going to be on our cell phones. Okay, granted, I get it. But what's going to happen with the cell phones? Chances are it's going to get congested, just like most national disasters and stuff of that nature, and they're going to shut it down. But they're not going to shut down these radios. Basically, the same technology, the same towers, because the channels are programmed specifically on certain frequencies to be able to communicate, similar to the phones. Well, guess who programs those radios? I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. Now we think about the Industrial Revolution. We're gonna go way back. We think about the factories, the railroads, the trains. Let's think about the petroleum industry. Let's talk about the steel industry. Well, if you read your history books and you look through them, those different time frames, people became really, really rich. And those things are still going on right now. The roads, the factories, the steel buildings, skyscrapers, everything you can think of is still happening. But guess what? Things are kind of tailoring to the telecommunications field now. Everything. Kids going to school. Everything that you do is using some form of telecommunication, some kind of radio wave, some kind of tower. You think of fires, earthquakes, heavy rain, storms. We think of Katrina, the storm that's there. It was a couple of years ago, there was a big rain there. The fires here in California, the storms and the hurricanes in Louisiana, Texas. Let's think about some of the man-made things. Let's think about the car wrecks. Let's think about the sports events. Let's think about the outdoor events. All these things. What's going to happen? Everybody's going to start communicating. And how are they going to communicate? They're going to communicate on these radios. The cell phones, yeah, but they're going to communicate on these radios. So Telecom, what do our guys do? In my field, what do? We program the radios. We repair the equipment. We install the equipment. Now think about all the things I just said that we do. Think about what you're doing every day. You're doing some of the same things. You're programming your phone, right? If it breaks, you could change the battery. You can change the cord. You could add devices. The cables and monitors and stuff like that. Is that really much different from what we're doing? Not really. You're doing the same thing we're doing. So cell phones, radios, it's all similar. Let's think of how they communicate. Towers. It's not like back in the day when I was a kid, the walkie-talkies where it was line of sight, 50 feet or 100 feet. It's far. Sometimes you're talking all over the world, where these towers are very vital to do that. The tower is the bridge between these communications, whether it's AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, So right now we're about to go into a quick video explaining what the towers do. Let's play that video. When driving down the interstates, freeways, and local roads, it's common to see antennas and towers on the top of very, very large hills. Observe the technician. He maintains the entire network and the compound. He ensures that the facility is operational and safe. For instance, everything has changed in recent years. Mail was very, very slow. It used to take at least a month to send and receive a letter and to get a response. Imagine no social media. Imagine no computers. Imagine no cell phones. Imagine going back to letters. Again, these antennas provide vital radio and network services. Within the compound, you will notice generators, fuel tanks, and water tanks. The facility is not complex, although it may look like it's complex. This is not rocket science. With the proper training and education, you too can be proficient in the telecommunications field. Now, we've watched that video. We've seen the towers. We have a basic understanding of how it worked. I'm certain you've seen the towers on the side of the streets when you're driving. I mean, for cell phones, radios, same technology. Now, those same towers support the cops. They support the firefighters. They even support the ambulance. Now, let's explore an ambulance. Now, behind me, you see this ambulance, brand new ambulance. Now, our team here, we installed the sirens on this ambulance, the lights, the telecommunications, all the radios, everything in this vehicle we installed. Now, I'm gonna just kind of walk over here to this ambulance. I'm kind of open it up. I mean, ideally, it's nice to be able to get in the ambulance and play with the ambulance without actually being inside of an ambulance. So that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I have this opportunity. And if you was doing something similar to what I'm doing, you could probably do the same thing. I mean, it's nice to play with it. So I'm gonna kind of come in here and play with it. Now, what I'm looking at is all the functions here. I'm looking at, I know it has lights. I know it has all these radios in it. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, imagine police cars, ambulances. I mean, fire trucks. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, look how the lights flash. I mean, you see that on the streets. I mean, that's kind of intimidating because you know you need to move over. But I mean, our guys, well, our team here, we actually install these lights. I mean, it's kind of fun. And let's kind of play with it a little bit more and see what else the team done. Now, I'm certain you've heard that, but it's nice to be able to do that in this environment, not while you're driving down the street. I mean, getting scared and having to move over to the side. So, I mean, it's pretty interesting having a career in the telecommunications field. So I'm certain a lot of you are curious. So we're going to kind of go into, well, before we do, let's talk about career a little bit. I told you I was in the Marine Corps for a long period of time. Actually, 22 years I spent in the Marine Corps. I never thought for 1 minute that I would actually join the Marine Corps because I think of the time frame when, you know, when I was a kid playing with the Tonka trucks, playing with the walkie-talkies, the G.I. Joe. But it's kind of weird how life happens because many, many years later, hold on a second here. I mean, I get excited about the fire engines in the ambulance. But it's kind of interesting that my life kind of took a twist. When I think of being a kid, I think about, again, the Tonka trucks. I think about the walkie-talkie. I think about the G.I. Joe. You know what? I kind of feel like anything that you do in life is leading you to something. So I mean, just being around communications, being around the walkie-talkies, it kind of led me to what I do now as a radio guy. I mean, doing radio for many, many years. And again, I didn't think that I would be doing this. I mean, I graduated from high school, went to college for a couple of years, had a girlfriend. She broke my heart. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was making a little money, but it wasn't enough. I know I couldn't support my family on that. I mean, basically a little bit more than minimum wage. And going to school, I wasn't serious. And I do encourage you to go to school. I mean, it's ideal. But if you feel like school is not for you, just like we talked to the rest of the team here, you could do other things.